Welcome back to the show. Parvo is a highly contagious, often fatal viral disease in puppies that has long since been considered untreatable within animal shelters throughout the entire country. The Arizona Humane Society is changing that, and as Arizona's largest animal welfare organization, we're dedicated to caring for ill and injured homeless pets in the valley. We opened up the state's largest Parvo treatment center, and many of the shelter pets in the valley have been coming to our Parvo ICU unit for Parvo treatment, and Perry Nessie here was one of the survivors.
Right, Ashley, one of the lucky ones. When she came into us, she was had all the symptoms: vomiting, diarrhea, very lethargic, pale gums, not doing well at all, in critical condition. We took her in, and then we started doing what you have to do with Parvo, which is constant round-the-clock IV, lots of medications, and lots of continuous care. You know, last month, October, 70 animals came through our ward, and this month, in November, we're only halfway through. We've saved the lives of 40 animals so far in that Parvo ward. You know, and even though we're having great success rate of 80 to 90% recovery, that doesn't mean you need to be lax with that disease. So please have your animals vaccinated for the Parvo virus, particularly when they're young. And when the weather is still above 80 or so, it is still a threat. It can be a threat year-round, but it's particularly prevalent in the hotter weather. So be very diligent about that. And this little girl right here, she is doing one. She's kind of shy, but she's doing spectacularly. She likes to be carried around. She's just a real joy to be around. And she owes her life to those vets and vet techs at the Arizona Humane Society. This is Nessie.
We'll show a little gratitude for all of our pets and all of our vet techs. They do such an amazing job. Now, when roving noses make their way into your lap during the Thanksgiving feast, it can be easy to slip a pet a scrap of food from the table, but feasting on rich, fatty foods can knock the stuffing right out of Fluffy or Fido. If you want to treat your pet to a mini Thanksgiving feast, Lisa is whipping up something delicious for our canine friend Rusty, foods that won't leave your pet feeling ill. Lisa?
Well, I had to pre-fill my Kong here, but this is Rusty's Kong, a Kong treat. And what we've done, I'm going to give this to him and let him enjoy. What we've done is filled that Kong treat with the things that Rusty can eat and what your pet can eat from your Thanksgiving table. Turkey, green beans, carrots, pumpkin, apples. But we do want to caution you not too much of any one thing. That's why we suggest them into the Kong like they've been done here, and Rusty's demonstrating. It takes them a while to get their treats out, so it keeps them quiet, and you can put them in their own corner of their room. We just caution, no desserts, nothing chocolate, and not too many greasy items. You certainly wouldn't want to give your pet a whole plate of Thanksgiving treats. So Rusty here is one of our wonderful adoptables. He is an Australian Shepherd mix, 8 years old. He arrived as an injured stray, but with some treatment and TLC in our Second Chance Animal Trauma Hospital, he is ready for adoption now. So he would be a wonderful addition, calm, and he is our slightly senior pet. So consider a senior this November.
Well, it was midnight in October when a Good Samaritan named Josh dove into a lake to save a drowning stray dog. Our emergency animal medical technicians picked up the severely injured basset hound and treated him in our Second Chance Animal Trauma Hospital over the next few weeks for a fractured pelvis. Once the canine recovered, Josh expressed interest in adopting him, but he lived in Wisconsin. So we made arrangements to fly Luke Skywalker out to Appleton, Wisconsin, so that he could be with the people who rescued him and loved him so very much. And as you can see, he is enjoying his new life. Now, these four kitties have a big imagination, and yes, they do love to play. Ski has a way to make a fun and interactive cat toy out of a pizza box. Ski?
You know, Ash, there are so many ways you can do simple household items and make them into safe cat toys and kitten toys. Here we just took a pizza box and put some holes in the top, and then we just throw some of their regular toys in there, and as you can see by these guys who are a little camera shy, your cat at home is just going to go crazy over this. That's a nice interactive way to get your kitten and get your cat a little more stimulated. Indoor cats can get bored quickly. We don't want them to become destructive. So this is a super easy way and way to entertain them. Now, we have over 130 adoptable cats and kittens. If you're looking for a lap cat, a wild cat, A young cat, an old cat, you name it, we have that cat available for you. You can search them all at azhumane.org.
With over 180 dog breeds, finding the right dog fits your lifestyle can be difficult. So every week we feature a particular breed. And Perry, today we're featuring the Australian cattle dog.
Right, Ashley, back in the early 1800s in the continent/country of Australia, the Hall family had a cattle business. The problem was it wasn't all that thriving of a business because they didn't have the right kind of dogs. They had a dog called the Blue Drover at that time, who, although a good cattle driver, they didn't have a lot of endurance. And the country side of Australia can be very, very treacherous, very much like the Arizona desert. They needed a dog with more endurance. So Thomas Hall, one of the sons, took this dog, the Blue Drover, and he mixed it with, you got it, the dingo. Yes, they really do have dingo in them. This is the wild dog of Australia. So the dingo, very much used to that climate, being a wild animal like that. They have tremendous endurance, and he came up with a dog that has super endurance. It's able to drive them a long way across the countryside. This guy right here, one of the great, beautiful Aussies, he is really looks very much like the Aussies back in that time with the longer hair. He's gorgeous. Come on.